discover the natural power of ashwagandha, an ancient herb known for its healing properties. For over 3,000 years, ashwagandha has been trusted to reduce stress, increase energy, and improve focus. Our ashwagandha is carefully grown, harvested, and processed to retain its maximum potency. Each root is hand-picked and dried, then ground into a pure organic powder, ensuring the highest quality. Simply mix 1 teaspoon into your favorite beverage or take it in capsule form as prescribed by a healthcare professional. Whether you're looking to balance your stress levels, boost your immune system, or enhance mental clarity, ashwagandha offers a natural solution. Experience the benefits of ancient wisdom backed by modern science. Trust nature. Trust ashwagandha. Go get this product at blackhotfirenetwork.com at the Sports and Nutrition Store.
Good afternoon, family. Hope you guys are doing amazing, and welcome to another episode of the Africa Today Show. My name is Joby. Today, my face shall not be seen just for the night, but I hope you guys are doing amazing and having a beautiful day as we continue or start with today's conversation. We're going to be still talking about the Epstine files. I have a bunch of videos. We're going to be looking at how Oprah is linked to this. We're going to be discussing about also a video of Michael Jordan that is actually circulating online of him touching a child's butt, and literally it has people disgusted and all that. We're going to be talking about the minority of the butts literally making up the majority. We're going to be discussing on that and also talk about the social security. We were to discuss this yesterday, but we didn't get the chance to. But we're going to cover up that and also look at another conversation. What to talk about also, that was what happened last week, where we had the Republicans passing, is it passing or removing, one of the two? But the Republicans literally removing the SAVE Act. I think removing literally. So Nicki Minaj had something to say about that, and I'm going to share the videos as we continue. But karibuni sana once again to those who are here for the first time. Kindly subscribe and welcome to today's conversation. Literally going to start with that video of Nicki as we wait for Mr. Blackout to come and join us. Karibuni sana to everyone who's right here. So this was Nicki Minaj literally talking about telling our fans how they need to push back Trump's SAVE Act, which was aimed at changing the voting rules and required voters to have an ID, and says that this is common sense, and this is the common sense party. So let's listen to what she had to say. And of course, people in the comment section also had a bunch to say about it.
I have to know about the barbs. So I knew that when I, was out there asking for stuff today. Yes, I was asking y'all to help me today, okay? Anyway, and still am with the Save America Act, which is the Common Sense Act. I would say this is the Common Sense Party too. Oh, absolutely. I would say this is the Common Sense Act, and this is the Common Sense Party. Okay? Because at what point, first of all, do you know how many people don't even know and didn't know until now that millions and millions of people have been voting with no voter ID, with no ID? Like, so many people, y'all, did not know that.
Karibu sana Kate. That is Karibu. Hi.
Is this new with her?
Yeah, this is Nicki Minaj. Last week we were to talk about a conversation that I still want us to talk about. The Republicans literally removing literally the SAVE Act America.
Threw under the bus.
Pardon?
They threw her under the bus.
Yeah, so Nicki had something to say about it, and people had something to say about it as well. If you look at the comments, she's being told she's the one who's new to this.
Hey, that's one thing you have to know about the barbs. So I knew that when I, was out there asking for stuff today. Yes, I was asking y'all to help me today, okay? Anyway, and still am with the Save America Act, which is the Common Sense Act.
Yeah, so
So so now they know. And now we know.
Yeah, so that's what she had to say literally that, you know, talking about how people have been voting without the ID for the longest time. I think that's a discussion I think even we were having during the time of Biden administration, the illegal aliens and all that, but still much more coming from TikTok and the reaction that people had.
But she said,
Republican
but
speaking out.
but we already know, we already know that the people didn't vote with the IDs. They would still have to show the IDs because you had to vote. So she's saying what the people wouldn't show up with the IDs. Is that what she's saying?
Yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
vote without you can't vote without your ID. And ID means either your driver's license. Unlike any other country, we don't have a national ID like they would have in Kenya. Your ID is either your regular ID from your state because we don't have a country ID that says America, right? Your ID
Mm.
comes from whatever state you live in. So if you have a driver's license, that would be your ID. You would come with your driver's license, and go to the polling area and show your driver's license or your state issued ID. Like America doesn't have an American ID, but I don't know if she's saying that if she's stupid or what. We don't have an American ID, lady. Like we have state ID that's issued by your state because you only can vote inside whatever state you live in. You can't vote in another state if you don't live in that state. You can only vote in what state you live in. That where your residence is at. So you can only vote in the state that you live in.
So it
And
says, they says, Nikki continues to push her fans to back Trump's Save Act America aimed at changing voting rules and requiring voters to have an ID.
first she was trying to go back. They've already thrown her under the bus. She's already done. Now she's going back. First she said, I was wrong, my fans, I'm gonna come back because she found that they didn't give her citizenship. They used her as a sucker. So she found out that the people that she was caping for and doing all this bootlicking, you bootlicking morons never learn. Okay? You bootlickers, I don't get it. But you always want to cozy up to your white supremacist boss, and then I didn't expect them to throw Nikki under the bus so quick. I said it'd be a few years to help get rid of her ass. But they got rid of her with the quickness. They disrespect her with like the next week. I love Trump and Trump is my daddy and blah blah blah. And look at my citizenship card and found that thing wasn't real. It probably wasn't even real. So um so she lost so many followers. Your music is what no one's gonna buy your music, lady. See what you forgot, Nikki. You being stupid. People in Africa don't have any jobs to buy your music to make any real money. Sorry. People in your Caribbean islands are just as poor as African. Sometimes even poor. They're not gonna buy your music. Sorry. So the people you offended were in the developed countries, England, America. You offended them who were buying your goofy music. So they're not going to buy your music. You've already been boycotted. So your money's fucked up now. So your money's fucked up. So when Trump eventually gets out of office, you're going back to Trinidad. You're going back to your beautiful island. Okay, you're going back. They're gonna get you up out of here because the black women that supported you, you put on your horrible music. You turned against black women. Said black women need to stop, need to be more good to white women and all this crazy stuff you were talking. These black women gonna get you up out the paint. You up out of here. they you understand the American black woman? Oh my God! They're like a dog with a bone. Once they get once they get they mouth around the bone, they ain't letting it go. And you are their project, Nikki. You up out of here. So all this ID shit is it's insignificant. Okay, guys, if we already know all the elections have been stolen. They've all been rigged. All these elections have been see, unless they can sell them overwhelmingly with their propaganda. So last one ever won a real election. Because nobody knew he was. The propaganda was so big. And they made him so loved. was when Barack Obama won the first time. It was so overwhelmingly. So that was the only real, like, they didn't have to steal it because they got this fake dude. They made him to a hero, and then you found out he wasn't shit. He's the same thing as everybody else. The second next to one was voting for him. So all these elections have been phony, all of them, since they put a bullet in Kennedy's head back in '63. Okay, y'all know you are a moron because you got an ID, you got vote. They got these elections are always rigged by the Mossad and the CIA. And they're gonna put up. That's why you can't run. No real candidate can run in America, right? No real candidate can ever come to power to even run in America unless you bow out to what? It's not real, Rothschild. So you don't even got no real people that can even campaign anymore, right? We can't even campaign. So all our elections are phony. You can't come to power. That's why you remember that's why you see that goofy fucking Mandani, right? So he was already groomed as a child. Everybody know. We always hear he's talking. Nobody knows who he is. Then you show the pictures of him with Rothschild, his mom and them all with Rothschild. They were trying to groom him that you would accept this moron, this motherfucker they made governor of New York. You know how hard it is, I mean, mayor of New York City, not the governor of New York State. You know how hard it is to become the mayor of New York City? New York City is the richest city on the planet. Who the fuck is this Mandani? Nobody knows. Nobody's heard of it. It's the same old Biggie, the same old fake Barack Obama shit. Comes out the blue. He's a good guy. See, but now y'all know. Nah, attack with the cats with the hats. See him as a child, smiling at her mom, smiling with Epstein. All this shit is connected. Ain't it funny? You should not just America, all in Europe, all in Africa, it's all connected by these motherfuckers behind the scenes. By these bloodlines. See, this is real. No more conspiracy theories, huh? No more conspiracy theories. This everything we said is all real. No one's gonna say conspiracy theory anymore. And since the public is stupid, it takes 2 years. See, we're on the front lines. We know all this. But most of the public, like my dumbass brothers, they still ain't got this. Because remember, this ain't on none of the news. The news is not saying they still look at the news. It's going to take 2 years for this to actually disseminate to the wider public. For them to start going, these 2 years for this shit to start disseminating. Because most everybody's still stupid, right? The news is not telling. That's how you know the news is all news. Those news people are all in Epstein files. That's why this news ain't telling you about all these heinous crimes. It's all connected. It's all evil. It's evil that people can't even fathom. And then what? It's also attached to what we told you 10 years ago, to Pizzagate. Oh, Pizzagate is fake. It's a conspiracy. It's phony. It's wild. People crazy. We're crazy talking about people eating babies and drinking blood. Remember, because 10 years ago, people couldn't accept that. But I was saying that. Sounded crazy as hell. You know, they're drinking blood, especially black women's blood, black girls' blood. And I said when Joby showed you 3 or 4 years ago, them kids, them babies in Africa on that plane, they were going to fucking fuck them and eat them, drink their blood. Then that sound crazy as shit. What? Your mind can't fathom this kind of evil. Then why you got a bunch of kids on a plane in Africa? Children, whole plane is nothing but children. And the people say, we don't know how these kids got in here. All these babies just snuck in the plane. What they going to do with them babies? Huh? Then you read the Epstein file, they were in Kenya looking for babies to eat and fuck. Yeah. Came to Kenya to find babies, to fuck them and eat them. That's in the files. Okay? That's in the file. Fuck them, eat them, drink the blood. You know, imagine. And they're telling you if all this comes out, it's going to take down all the governments on the planet. That means all the governments on the planet are involved in this then. All the governments are all evil. They told you, not just the American government, just take down all governments. All governments. They got them having sex with babies, eating babies, cooking them. Cooking babies, eating them. See, remember, every year we got all these children just missing. No one ever finds them. You're going to find out this other thing. You know, the average person can't fathom. You got underground cities. You got cities under the fucking ground. Cities that they built. You had Catherine Austin Fitz, who's not a nut, who's not a kook. They want to tell you you're a kook, you're a nut, you're crazy. Who's been in the American government in high position, said, yeah, there's cities underneath the fucking ground. Yeah, that these scandalous bastards done built. Whole fucking cities underground. And when we talked to, remember, me and Joby showed this girl called Allie Carter a couple years ago, right? This black girl. Everything she said sounded crazy. She's talking about all these entertainers in it. They've been abusing her as a child. Blah blah blah. And she sounded crazy. Talking about Will Smith, nasty ass, had raped her and shit. And then nobody believed it. And all of a sudden, her as a teenager popped up with Will Smith. And I'm like, what? What? And then in the Epstine files, a picture of her with Trump's hand around her throat, and it's her. That's her as a baby. Could have been about 6 or 7 as a baby with Trump's hand around her motherfucking throat like this. What? So the FBI, remember this all coming to the FBI, knew all this shit, all of it. Why wasn't this released under Obama and all these other people? Because they're all evil. This is evil, guys. FBI has all this information because Epstein files come from the FBI investigating everybody. Didn't release nothing. The FBI knew all this shit for years. They knew the whole world was been goddamn compromised or involved in this shit, in this evil. They almost documented it. Then tell you beginning of last year, there are no files, crazy files. There are no files. There's no Epstein files. Remember I kept telling you, there's no Epstein files. Epstein files don't exist until you all start having hackers come in and hack the FBI servers and releasing some of that shit. Remember Kash Patel, the new fucking fake, crazy looking Indian guy who's not even qualified. These people not even qualified to be in these institutions. We're like Africa now. These institutions are fake. FBI, you got Kash Patel as the head of FBI, this crazy eye looking Indian. He's the head of the fucking FBI. You got Pam Bondi, this goofy broad, head of the Justice Department. You go back and research her crazy ass. How the fuck is this lady head of the Justice Department of the United States of America? These people ain't qualified to take out your goddamn garbage. So you know they're there to protect people. How is this Pam Bondi, the Attorney General of the United States, head of the goddamn Justice Department? How is this goofy Kash Patel, head of the fucking FBI, the most premier? The FBI is the most premier in the world. Premier investigating service in the world. How's this goofy ass Indian the director of that with his crazy eyes? When they tried to tell you that, and they lied about he came into that crazy stuff. Well, you know, they even remember when they supposedly unalived Charlie Kirk. Ain't nobody mentioned that no more, have they? Because the rest of the world know this is people can look at know these are scams. This shit don't make no sense. Well, you know, got this guy, he's a homosexual, and he wrote he was gonna kill Charlie Kirk. All these fake assassinations, everything's fake. Everything's phony. Everything's derived, right? So, you know, we don't know if Charlie Kirk's even dead or alive. Then we find out about his wife, right? Mrs. Kirk having sex. She's in Epstein files, right? Mrs. Kirk. And remember whenever you got Tucker Carlson, this guy here, Joe, we're going to show this is called controlled opposition. These people are fake. Like fake ass Alex Jones, fake ass Tucker, and fake ass Candace Owens. These are all fakes. They're all fakes. This is controlled opposition, both sides of an argument to make it they going after these people. They're not. Playing both sides of an argument. That's how you play both sides, right? You got Tucker Carlson, his whole family. You know Tucker Carlson's whole family, CIA? You guys know that. Whole family, CIA. Tucker Carlson. You always say, I don't understand. I don't know what's going on. I really don't know. This thing's absurd. All that choir board shit each other. Like Joby, when we first got Joby was real innocent. His ass knows everything. He plays Joby 5 years ago. I don't know. don't know what's going on. I don't understand. How is this even? I don't. People eating babies. What and sex? This sounds absurd. All that crazy shit he does. All that fake ass acting he does. Right? All that fake acting he does. We know his whole family's clicked in with the CIA. Just like you go back and know that goddamn Alex Jones family has been clicked in with the fucking CIA. Ain't these all coincidences? Ain't it funny? Alex Jones' family is part of the CIA when he's a child. Tucker Carlson's family, his dad's a whole CIA agent. He don't know shit. I don't know. It's the player. He's always innocent, don't know shit. so we'll see. So they always okay. I guess they're going to Oprah no good ass. This route. But remember, when I said this back in the 90s, I forgot to tell my wife would go crazy in love with this raggedy, wretched ass bitch here. This evil motherfucker. You could tell Oprah was evil. I didn't have the goods on this about the crazy stuff she would say about black men. He just talked crazy about black men, this wretched ass broad, right? This evil motherfucker. And I don't think it's even her, right? And then and in the Epsteine files, they're telling you that the Joe Biden that we had president, that there's 3 or 4 Joe. See, this gets really, people's minds can't fathom because people don't really look at shit. We already knew that the Joe Biden that was all fake. In Epsteine files, they tell you that Joe Biden died in 1998. So who they elected in 2020? He's already dead. The real Joe Biden had died in 2018. He was dead and stinking. So who did they elect in 2020? And they had like 3 people. You had a Biden that was too damn tall. Another Biden. Who was playing Biden? Because the FBI knew the motherfucker was dead. So who they elect? Who the fuck was playing president? Because the FBI knew his ass was dead. That's in the files. But when you told people this ain't even the real Biden, look, this motherfucker mannerism look the same, and you told you 3 different Obamas, because people don't ever observe and look close. That they've been playing you for suckers and fools for a long time. People run this planet, right? So who do we vote for in 20? This goopy broad talk with her goopy rap song. This moron. Well, what about the ID, bitch? Are we even putting the real person in there? Because the Biden that was in there wasn't Joe Biden. He died in 2018. That's in the files. The FBI knew he was dead. So who was running around playing President Biden from 2020 to 2024? We know there's a whole bunch of different people playing him and shit. Because Joe Biden, the real Joe Biden, never became president because he was dead in 2018. He died. His old ass had already been dead and stanking. And you went around talking about an ID? And you got imitation people playing people? You know how deep and crazy. This shit's so evil, so crazy. But we knew all this. We knew they clone. Oh, it's even coming out in the papers that they clone people. So everybody, they're cloning. And I told my brother about cloning. He's like, cloning. That's crazy. They cloned the sheep. You think they stopped at a sheep? You fucking moron. Some shit they told you 40 years ago. Dolly the sheep. You ain't been cloning human beings, dummy. You don't have that technology that you don't see. They were told that they lead at least 50 years ahead of us or more years ahead of us in real technology. You know this stupid smart TV right here? See, I invented this way back in the fucking 1960s. We didn't get this shit till the early 2000s. We didn't get our first damn big screen TV like, what was it, 25 years ago? We started getting these motherfuckers out, these plasma TVs 25 years ago. See, I had this shit 70 years ago. That's a fact. Everything we believe, they created a whole world, a whole illusionary fake world for them to rule us from. Right? Oh, you know, it's in a document that says this in the Epsteine file said we must make the world stupid. We must make the world, especially the American people, stupid because we can't run a society based on we have everybody go to work willingly and be able to tax them. Right? That people were too smart, they would figure it out and won't want to do it. It's in your files. So we know everybody's dumbed down. So how are you going to be, so how are you going to have a person know that that's a different Biden? You know, just by looking up, you look at a motherfucker walk, shit don't look right. You know? But you're too stupid to do that. So not all of us are going to be stupid. Some of us are going to know a certain. They say something like the Biden from 20 years ago. We know people get old, they age, but some ain't right about this motherfucker out. Then you get to say, I don't think this is actually Joe Biden. Then if you share somebody, tell you, hey man, hey Eric, man, I don't think this motherfucker Joe Biden. What? You talking crazy? What are you talking about? Man, get off my phone talking crazy. Hey, sound crazy. Sound like a nut. Like somebody need to be putting them down one of them straight jackets and throwing it to the nut house. So, but the Epsteine files are saying no more allegedly. Epsteine files are saying, but let me see what Joby's saying. Let me see what this guy. Go ahead.
Mainstream media's official narrative, Oprah's 3-decade orbit of pedophiles, traffickers, and baby farmers was just bad luck. A string of unfortunate coincidences. Unfortunately.
And now I told you, everybody's now going to the ranch. And I told you, this motherfucker's remember he owned a mansion out in New Mexico, a ranch out in the middle of nowhere, where he was taking black women. Documented. Okay? No more allegedly shit. No more document taking these women because black women, this is known for all you goofy Christian and Allah niggas. That's why all your shit is lie. The black woman's eggs are the beginning of everything. Not no fucking fake Adam from your goofy Quran and your goofy Bible. No, that shit's for morons. So he's taking black women out there because he wanted to make a master race. This is real. Okay? Taking black women there, he unalived their ass, put them in damn acid and shit long to get their damn eggs. They were trying to make a master race, eugenics. See, those people, supposedly eugenics was gone, it went underground. Them people created eugenics, the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, created that shit 20 years ago. They never stopped that shit. It went underground because it sounded crazy. Okay? So Epsteine was there trying to make a master race. Get these goofy. See, you get a goofy black bitch, say a black woman, to go with a white man anyway. Oh, white man got money. Oh, don't know you getting there. It's a house of horrors, locked down. Probably ripping off your clothes and shit. You put on a table. Put on a table all fucked up. Because they're going to kill you, but they're going to get your eggs out of your goddamn uterus first. Because that's the beginning of everything on this planet. See, these are facts. Sorry, it's not in your goofy Bible, is it? That's not in your goofy Quran. No, it's not. Because that's actually real, moron. That's actually real. Okay? So he was experimenting on women, snatch their ass up, taking them to New Mexico, and they operate on their ass. They throw their ass in acid and bury their ass out in the desert. Yeah. How about that? No more allegedly. Factual. Okay? It's in these files. This is so heinous, so wicked, so evil. But go ahead, Joe. Good play.
For Oprah, the Epstein files have blown open an entire grotesque subculture of trafficking, consumption, and depravity on an industrial scale.
Right.
Hundreds of high-level elites and major companies are implicated in the files. And according to Epstein files investigators, one name connects them all. Oprah Winfrey, the daytime TV queen trusted in millions of homes, now faces explosive accusations from multiple...
This was even came out. I was trying to tell Cammy about Oprah Winfrey. I mean, I told Joe, especially though Katie, well, how Oprah? They say the same thing they thought about that goofy Mother Teresa bitch. See, imagine the African mind, they can fathom the Mother Teresa's evil. But anyway, so I tried to tell Cammy that she couldn't accept it. She's my idol. I said, she's evil, Cammy. She's evil. You understand what I'm telling you? This boy, all this shit came out. I said, this lady is personified wicked evil. Okay? You believe in propaganda, but the media told you this broad is evil walking. She's evil. But been told y'all that. I'm just being validated. This woman's wicked. And like I said, I think the real Oprah's dead. They got 3 or 4 Oprahs. I showed you guys that years ago. All these different Oprahs they got out there. You can tell because the teeth are different. See, people don't observe. Now that I start noticing, I start observing everything. They the same Oprah. And I think that Google ain't took it. I'm gonna show you Joe. So there's different Oprah. There's different Obamas, different Joe Bidens, different Oprahs. Which one's the real Oprah? Because I showed you 5 over the years back in the day I was doing this. I showed you 5 different Oprahs. And I know it's a fact because their teeth and gums were different. It ain't the same fucking woman that they part down. But is this broad even really alive anymore? I think the real Oprah's dead and stinking somewhere, thrown in a ditch. Got rid of her ass. Got a clone out there, and they've been just cloning her ass. You got a clone Oprah out there talking crazy. Yeah, it's real. So when Bernie Mac told you they were cloning people and they got rid of his ass, people couldn't believe this back in 2007 when Bernie Mac died. He died in 2007, dead and stinking. Because he was took there, he was getting famous as a comedian. It took him, like Joe, he's an innocent. His mind can even wrap around how the real world works. The wickedness, the evil, and that you've been ruled by unseen hands. You actually been ruled by shit you can't even see. If you call the devil in your books or whatever, demiurge, you've been ruled by evil. This earth has been ruled by evil. That's nothing you can't wrap your mind around. That this whole system, you can't understand this whole system. There's no such thing as death. The Africans knew all this, all ancient, and it's funny, it's all ancient knowledge. This ain't some new shit. This is all what created. This is all ancient African knowledge. This ain't even real. You living in an illusion created by a wicked motherfucker. Imagine, wrap your mind around that. Right? Everybody's ignorant, stupid on how things even work. That is no such thing as death. You know that? No such thing as death. Because remember, all this matter, shit I'm touching, hitting, none of this shit exists. It doesn't exist. This hat doesn't exist. It's just slowed down vibrational atom. When we look in the middle of an atom, there's nothing there but empty space. So this hat, for all technical purposes, doesn't even exist. It's an illusion that my brain slowed down the vibration and calls it a hat. But in reality, this fucking thing doesn't exist. This thing doesn't exist. See how deep that goes? How crazy that goes? You got unseen beings that you see that house themselves in these avatar. Your body's an avatar. They've been trying to show you on these goofy movies. Your body is not real. You have an energy, a soul that sits inside your pineal gland right here that houses this fucking thing, makes the hands move and all this shit works, right? Yeah. That's how crazy and deep it goes. That's how deep this goes, right? That this body is just a magnetic field housing the soul. When the body finally dies because it decays, your spirit gets out of here, your soul, we only people with soul. The difference between soul beings and spirit beings, it's another fact. That's why a lot of these people don't have what? An internal dialogue. They can't talk to each other. They can't talk to themselves. Imagine that? Because it created. This shit gets crazy indeed. They don't have internal monologue. There's nothing there. When they look inside, there's no there. You're like, so then what the fuck are we doing? What is this world? What does this world even consist of? See how deep the questions get? And most people are too scared to go with these questions and ask them because they're caught in all these fake goofy religions, right? Once you let the goofy religion go, you're even scared. Who's God? Where is God? God's not Allah? God's not Jehovah? You can't get past that. You're too scared. Your mind got the mind of a child. No. There's a creator, of course, creator of everything. But the creator is unknowable to you, unknowable to me. We don't vibrate high enough. We know, but we're supposed to have enough knowledge to know that is a creator. What we see, something created this. Because if you understand, mind creates matter. Matter. This is matter, right? This is matter. Matter does not create mind. This is all ancient African. Mind, what you think, creates matter. Matter, this can't create the mind. And your mind doesn't even sit inside your brain. When I mean mind, I mean consciousness that sits outside your body. Imagine that. Consciousness doesn't even sit inside your brain, inside your mind. It sits outside your body in the ether. So consciousness creates matter, creates everything you see around you through thought, through consciousness. So that lets you know, as you folks get more intelligent, you know that's the creative spark. There's a creator resides in you, right? So That's why you get shadow banned because you try to teach people all this. Some people's minds are not able to accept because everybody's been dumbed down. And that's what the Epsteine files say. We need a planet of dummies. How we gonna be fucking babies and eating them and people observing shit? Everybody's got a phone and can't nobody everybody's got a phone with a camera on it. You mean can nobody see shit? No. Everybody run with these damn phones, right? But all these people are possessed by what we call demons, interdimensional beings. Okay, these are clones. Remember, they can clone the body. So obviously they know how to clone melanin people too, right? But the reason why these people have no melanin, guys, why they have green eyes and blue eyes, which means they're hollows, no there. Remember, the eyes are the windows into the soul. Melanin, only melanin. That's why our eyes are melanated, because you can see the melanin in the back of the brain, right? Shows our soul. So you make a being like this so you can house demonic energy in it from lower dimension, lower vibrational energy. See, this is real. Not a legend. They know that in the files. There's in your Epsteine files too. They know this. They've been through this. This is ancient African shit. This is real shit. And the Africans around scared. Oh no, I don't want to know my old ancient shit. Oh, I want to know fake Jesus and Allah. All that stupid shit. You make an entity like this with fake animal monkey hair and shit like this. Yeah? So you can house demonic energy. That's why they're so wicked. You can house low vibrational reptile energy in it. See, things you see, things you can't see exist. Just like I can call Joby on the phone and she can hear me from here, from America to Kenya. You can't see the line, but that line exists. That's how these entities work. You can't see them unless you're able to lower your vibration or raise your vibration. Then you can see these things because they're there. They're conscious. They exist. But since you've been taught everything you can't see doesn't exist, which is a lie, there's things that exist outside your vision that exist. And so they create these clones, these motherfuckers here, and they house them with this energy, with this low vibrational energy. And so that allows them to feed off of you. That's the reason why they kill babies and all this torture releases an energy that you can't see. You always emit energy from your body. That's why you have an aura field. You have, as a human being, you have an aura field around your body. And as a melanated person, they really can't get into your aura field unless you do these things. And if you think all this fucked up rap music, all this old crazy, all this low vibrational rap garbage. They took it from being what? When it first came out, was what? About love and fighting for justice. Now it's about, oh, my pussy, my dick, my ass, my hoe, be a hoe, be a bitch, be a dick, suck my booty. What the fuck is this? What is this garbage? What is this filth? It was taking positive to negative because that is low vibration. So you're cutting down parts of what we call your aura field. All right, you're lowering your vibration. This is all science. And that's why they took your music from 432 hertz to 440, the demonic frequency, so they can house these demonic. That's what CERN's about. But since we asked about CERN, CERN was created to open portals, interdimensional portals. They open up portals to lower dimensions, and then when these things come out, you can't see them. They need to be housed in a body. And since white people have no protection, they have no melanin, this brown skin, this is your protection. Right? They have no protection. I can house a demonic energy in this fucking thing here. So in your eyes, you see human beings walking around. If your vibrations are high, you can see that you got a bunch of demonic motherfuckers walking around, demonic energy. Demonic. That's why your digital camera can pick it up. The eyes have slits through it. But that's all. See, this before that AI. They want to tell you now it's AI. No. Digital camera can pick up other frequencies. Before they create this AI, you see the slits, the reptile energy in their fucking face and in their eyes. That's real. Oh, this is a visual distortion. There's no visual distortion. Digital camera's picking up what it sees. And also remember, we got We can't even find it in the emerald tablets of Thoth no more, right? They all the ones I keep finding on YouTube have all been edited. Thoth told you about these motherfuckers. Thoth told you this story 200. See, they gonna tell you that, oh, we only go back so many thousand. That's a fake, that's a lie. African people go back on this planet millions of fucking years. And see, these demonic motherfuckers, they got control. So they keep telling you, oh, human beings only go back 100,000, 200,000. That's all fucking lies. Because these demonic motherfuckers are ruling the planet now. They got control through these white people. They tell all these lies. So black people have been on this planet millions of years. Millions. The whole planet was black. Whole planet. But nobody here but black people. So when Thoth is saying this doing the emerald tablets, he's saying, hey, they're demonic forces. He's already told you that the black people here, because you come from super geniuses, whether you know it or not. Thoth is saying the black people 400,000 years ago who were highly advanced, right? He said, start opening portals to lower dimensions. This is in the tablets. He's talking about these motherfuckers that we see today. He said, you couldn't see it. I can't even find it no more. But you gotta get the book. Go read the Emerald Tablet book that because it should be in there if they start erasing that too. But you won't hear that shit on none of these goddamn YouTube channels, videos, listen to the Emerald Tablets. This is completely gone. But when they first, before you knew you started to wake up, it was in all of them. So Thoth is saying that the black people, because there wasn't nobody here but us. So when they try to show white, there were no white people, there were no Asian people, nobody here but black people, period. These are facts. The universe is black. That's why this planet is black. Black people. So black people, as advanced as they are, started dealing with evil forces, started doing wicked shit, start opening portals, as he says in the tablets. That's the same thing doing in CERN right now, opening portals to lower dimensions and allowing these low vibrational, what we call a reptile energy, into their existence, into Atlantis and Lemuria, right? So this is what he's telling us. We know this is real because it's happening now again. He said, but you wouldn't be able to see. See, I can't look at Jeffrey and know this motherfucker's got reptile energy unless I'm able to change the vibration around this motherfucker. Remember, the way they keep their vibration when they get the small kids and drink the blood fuses them to this dimension. See, why they drink the blood? The blood fuses them to this dimensional space and time. That's why they got to drink the blood of children. It fuses them, it equalizes them to this dimension, to this space and time. That's why they went around drinking children's blood. Because they're allowed to stay in this dimensional space. So, Thoth is telling you, unless you understand the change the vibration, which he's able to know, because I think you're very advanced, he can change the vibration around these motherfuckers and see who's goddamn hiding, who's pretending to be a human being, who's one of these demonic as Quato told you, the Chittahootie. Who's one of these Chittahootie motherfuckers? Thoth is telling you it's in the Emerald Tablets. He's able to change the vibration around these motherfuckers who are pretending to be human beings, right? Walking like me and you. But if you change the vibrational space around them, boom, you see the motherfucker. Oh shit, this is a motherfucking Chittahootie. This is demonic goddamn reptile energy. Everybody laughed at David Icke when we say about the reptile energy. This is real. Remember, the reptile energy controls the planet, so they want to have you ridiculed and made fun of and say you're crazy for knowing this. But this is ancient African science. Ancient shit. Ancient shit. Written down hundreds of thousands of years ago. It's ancient shit. Since everybody's been dumbed down, you can't fathom none of this no more. He's telling you in Emerald Tablets that you got these motherfuckers right here walking among. That's when they started making the first white people. He said, what are you doing? You can't make a being like this without melanin to house this fucking energy. He said you wouldn't know what it is unless you can change the vibrational space. See if I can find it. Change the vibrational space. Change the vibration of space. Boom, change the vibration. You know what the fuck is in it. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Because they told you they will walk amongst humans without no one knowing who or what they are. You would have no idea. Well, you're not advanced enough to change the vibration of space around this motherfucker. And they would just walk along humans. You wouldn't even know that this motherfucker has reptile energy, demonic energy up in this goddamn thing. But you know it's real now. You see all the shit that's heinous, eating babies, fucking them. That's the energy he's talking about. Cloning people. That's all in the tablet. That's all there. But go ahead, Joe. Go ahead, play. Let me see if I can find it. Go ahead.
That's what Epstein survivors. They call her the broker, allegedly trafficking vulnerable children to the world's most powerful men.
That's why they let
Then
them be rich.
keeping cruel mementos of their suffering. Body parts that she wears as gold-encrusted jewelry, even while offering sympathy on air to grieving mothers searching for their missing daughters. Strap yourself in. This one goes from 1 to 100 very fast, and we're not slowing down for anyone. Before we dive in, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and gain access. Those ties to Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein's circle, and John of God, her personal faith healer, who she promoted until he was sentenced to 370 years in prison for running a global baby trafficking empire.
Miracle worker or monster? He's known as John of God, a celebrity faith healer whose followers claim he can miraculously cure diseases such as cancer. But now the once beloved guru is accused of abusing hundreds of women.
Now, bombshell Epstein documents reveal that a woman stated on record that Epstein offered her money to birth babies for black market use. She also linked John of God to Jeffrey Epstein and Oprah, who allegedly connected the two. According to sources close to the investigations, Oprah has been hiding in plain sight, rubbing shoulders with some of the most infamous names in child trafficking and exploitation, all while using her public platform to slowly, methodically normalize the unthinkable.
People don't understand. A big part of the confusion and shame for child victims is that the attention and the seduction from the predator, who is probably going to be somebody you know. Right. In order for it to work, it has to be somebody you know, somebody you admire, somebody you respect, or maybe even love. You're 7 years old and someone is stroking your it feels good. I have said for years, if the abuser is any good, you won't even know it's happened.
FBI insiders are finally saying out loud what our research has been exposing for years. Oprah wasn't just merely Jeffrey Epstein's associate. She wasn't just John of God's friend. She was their partner in crime. Investigators have uncovered proof that she played a direct role in funneling vulnerable children and newborn babies straight into the hands of the global elites, while the Hollywood elite showered her with praise. And she graciously accepted every glittering trophy, including Disney's own Legend Award, the highest honor the Mouse House bestows.
We're not defined by a show. I think we are defined by the way we treat ourselves and the way we treat other people.
To the most wonderful person in the world, you represent the best of our country. You are a hero to mankind.
The fact that I'm here matters. The fact that you're there matters. This is no accident.
All while she was quietly orchestrating something far more sinister behind the scenes. Disney cruise ships, packed with wide-eyed kids, routinely docked in Little St. James.
It was showing a photo of him at Disney. He's sitting down at the table, piglets behind him. It's him and another guy sitting down, and this guy is holding this girl, like by her arms like this. That same girl is in another photo with Epstein. They're on the plane. She's like she's sleeping, she's laying down, and he's holding her like this. Then, come to find out, Disney sent kids to his island for snorkeling trips.
I remember Disney's always been linked to pedophilia. Remember, Disney was a wicked-ass homosexual pedophile. No, let me caveat that. A racist, a deeply racist, anti-black, homosexual pedophile. Want to make all this, and sponsored by the CIA. Like all this Disney shit with the little kids. See how deep this goes? All these amusement parks for children. They're all up in these children's asses and shit. Ain't it funny? Go back and study wicked ass Disney. The first thing to write, you must be anti-black, anti-African person. Disney was a wicked ass racist. Wicked. racist, homosexual pedophile. What he was. Sleeping little boy. So we know there's a secret club called the 33 Club that's in Disney. In Disneyland, the very first one they built outside of LA. Before they built the one over in Florida, they got one in France, they got one in Japan. I think it's only four. Before they built the bigger one here in Florida, in Orlando, but I'm sure they said all of them have the we're gonna say this allegedly right here. Allegedly, all of them have what they call the 33 Club. That's secret inside the park where they rape children. Yeah. But we do know that's alleged. We'll say that's allegedly. But what's not allegedly, Walt Disney was an overt racist, a homosexual, pedophile. None of that's alleged. And connected with motherfucking government intelligence. That's not alleged. See, that goes back to CIA and government intelligence, FBI and all that shit. Isn't that funny? Always goes back. Because remember, these people need agencies, these families, agencies that they set up to protect their wickedness. Think they're out there really investigating shit. They investigate us, the small people. But the real people, they hide their crimes. They go out there, they cover up their crimes. These other institutions, CIA, they're there to steal money from the poor and hide those people's crimes. That's what these institutions were set up to do. CIA go in the country, steal all the resources and shit, fuck their children. You can't send them in and say, why don't anybody find out? Because the institutions were set up to gatekeep these pedophilic elite so they can keep stealing children, eating them, fucking them. Get it? Why these institutions exist. But like I said, it will take 2 years for this to filter down to the regular public. Because remember, they own all the news, all your media. That's why they need to get their hands on TikTok, right? Because they need to control the narrative. See, everything you're taught, your news and your social media is all lies. If you go against that narrative, you're banned, you're shadow blocked, all this other shit. Your channels get taken down. Because they got to control the narrative to the millions of morons out here who's posting, oh, look what I had for dinner, Jimmy. Let me post my meal. All the goofy moronic shit people do on these apps. Let me post what I had for dinner. I had Popeye's chicken. See my chicken right there? It's Popeye. See that? All this goofy shit. But you get to talk about what's actually happening on this planet, your ass is blocked. So these phones are made to smile. That's why you can't take the battery out the bitch that won't, right? This camera's looking at me right now. Everybody's got a camera. Your camera's on all the time. All the time. That's why you better put some plastic over both the front and the back. Your camera's off. Well, you think your phone is off and you're not powered, your camera's always on. Edward Snowden told you that. Was that 13 years ago? That's when they started taking make sure you couldn't take the battery out the back of all these phones. Think that's an accident? Huh? Can't take the battery out of none of these motherfuckers? Edward Snowden told you 13 years ago, your phone is always on. Your laptop, your cell phone, when you think it's off, it's always on, always. And when he snuck away to Russia, when he said, your TV is listening to you and watching. You see this motherfucker right here? You walk around the house naked, this motherfucker looking at you, and it's recording everything you're saying. Snowden told you that 13, 14 years ago, maybe 15 years ago. Now was that 2011? When he left the CIA and ran to Russia because he wanted to tell everybody all these cameras are looking at you all the time. They're listening to you. But go ahead, Joby, go ahead.
9 years.
Snorkeling.
And their cruise ships made stops at his island all the time.
Dude.
What a cruise ship! What a Disney cruise ship making stops at a freaking pedophile's island? Because remember, it's all clicked in. You don't have to know how the real world works. It's all clicked in. Isn't that funny? You're dealing imagine who's ruling this planet, the level of evil, psychopathic evil. And a lot of your goofy churches are involved too. That's all your files, but because your churches are all fake too. Sorry. There's no cracker in the sky jumping down with a dirty robe, tell you Jesus is gonna save you. Sorry, there's no fake Allah, that motherfucker with a dirty beard in the Middle East, calling himself Muhammad, gonna save you. Sorry, those are fake religions created by the demiurges. See, when you go into these mosques and these churches, you're giving energy to these fucking things. Everything is a practice of energy. You can't see it when you sing and dance and you're giving energy to something. Something's feeding off your energy. Go ahead, Joe.
Coincidence? At this point, who'd even believe that? This isn't some random association. This is organized. This is RICO-level conspiracy.
Pause it. Barack Obama's so fucking evil. This motherfucker's so wicked, so evil. You're making he's personified. Both these motherfuckers are evil. Don't get it twisted. That's how good propaganda works. You have black people crying about Obama. This motherfucker is so wicked, so evil. Remember, we know he's evil. We got the Pizzagate files when and we know this is factual now. Okay, no more conspiracy theories for the dummies in the cheap seats. Okay, for the dummies in the cheap seats when he was ordering pizza and hot dogs, he wasn't talking about pizza and hot dogs. He's talking about children so he can bring them back to the White House and fuck them. Okay, and then rape them, torture them, and drink their blood. No more conspiracy theories. I know your mind can't accept that. That's how evil and wicked this no good bastard who came out of nowhere. No one knew. That's Obama. Who knows this motherfucker? That fake ass Kenyan story. I told my mom she got mad at me. People, mom was a moron. Trying to tell that this nigga's wicked and evil. He didn't do nothing, Keith. I went back to investigate. Nobody knows where'd he come from. He just pops up in Chicago. Remember, they got to put this moron didn't grow up around black people in some kind of black area in America. They got to put him in New York. They got to put him around a big population to give his ass credibility. So we know one of the most what are the famous black cities? Chicago, New York, D.C., Memphis, St. Louis, Atlanta. But we got to get him around one of these cities to give this motherfucker credibility. We got to, because remember, they're making a story behind this moron. You don't want to know who the hell he even is. Because most people don't deserve people stupid. So we got to put him around because we're going to make him praise. He's like that Mondani character, right? That you see in New York City. But he's already been exposed. Because now you've seen him with the photos with Epstine. There's photos with this moron as a child. With the Bush family. Yeah. Oh, the president and the future president. How does this moron as a child come from a Kenyan daddy? Kenyan daddy. It has photos with this moron with the damn president's family. Both presidents. Remember, you got Daddy Bush, then his son became president. There's things of him being this picture of his ass as a child with that family. So you bring Chicago, nobody knows about this motherfucker in Chicago. Chicago's a known black entity, black city. That's a big black population that's known. So CIA's always, remember this all gamed out, game theory. They got to put them someplace to get credibility with black people. So they're going to dump in one of these cities, Atlanta, New York, Philadelphia, Chicago. So they decided, hey, remember, they got to put him on they don't say he came from the north side. They put him around on the south side of Chicago, the black area. They ain't put him in the north side of Chicago, right? So they're building you a narrative, a fake background of this homosexual bastard in. This crack smoking ass. He smokes crack. That's known. Hold on, Joe. You know that, right? So this is how they do it. So because they knew you already sit with George Bush's son became daddy, right? Now that those elections were stolen, clearly, right? So they said, okay, me being the background or me being one of the family, I said, God damn, these elections in America are getting harder to steal. People starting to notice that, these candidates no one likes. Africa, we can do it. We can do this election because We got them all stupid with this goofy shit. But people in America have been better, more educated. It's getting harder. So it's like, so we must build somebody. And we make them black because we get that. That means we get all the black people on farm too. And we can get him winning a landslide. People believe that, he's actually going to do shit when he's not. So, remember, this is groomed as a child. See, he go the fake backstory about Obama has. His daddy came from a village, a lower village in Kenya. Okay, this is have you had any common sense in your fucking head? Critical thinking, Joey says critical thinking. This sounds stupid. This sounds crazy as cat shit. Okay? His poor written daddy comes to America. His poor ass daddy. Now we know his mama's side clicked in with the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers. That's a fact. That's a fact. Not allegedly. These are facts. Mama is clicked in with the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers. It's a fucking fact. That's why his grandma was a Rockefeller banker. It's a fact. So it's the story they're giving you, right? It's the fake story they're giving you. Some goofy poor nigga from Kenya, from the village, comes to America and meets a Rothschild lady, right? She's so smitten with this goofy nigga from a village. Remember, this is the 60s where racism is thick in America. Racism is the number one game in this country. Call it nigga, you've been hung from trees. But you get this African nigga, right? From a village in Western Kenya, from the Lua community. Give me a second. It's just so preposterous. This is so preposterously stupid. But that's not it. They know everybody's stupid. So when you go back and think about it, this doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it don't make no sense. It's stupid. Okay, so get this goofy nigga from a poor village in Western Kenya. Remember, this is the 60s. Most Western Kenya ain't got no lights. Motherfuckers ain't got no running water, none of that shit. He's already all fucked up, right? This is Africa. We'll keep it 100. Back in the 60s, Western Kenya, ain't no lights. Motherfucker barely got shoes. So they find this goofy nigga supposedly on it. This is the story they give you, right? And I thought, he's running. I'm still in my third. Like, this story don't make any. And I'm thinking to myself, like, this story don't make any sense. This story and I still didn't know much about Kenya, but I didn't know much about Kenya still yet. But I said, this story just don't add up. Right? I kept saying, in my mind, I didn't know it yet. I kept saying, the story don't add up. This don't make no sense. How does this dude from Kenya in the 60s meets a white woman? And you was getting murdered for dating anybody white in the early 60s, right? Late 50s, early 60s, you're getting murdered. They're killing your black ass. And he's an African and doesn't speak it. He's got the goofy African accent too. What? He's got that goofy accent. What? Coming to America with that accent with these races. And yeah, want to be with a white woman. I can't even do the goofy accent. Y'all be doing accents better than me. I can't get. What? What? In America? Here's Barack Obama, born in 1960, 61, whatever, 62, some shit. So, late 50s, early 60s. You got some goofy African with a fucked up accent comes to America and finds a white woman who's connected to the Rothschilds and Rockefeller. What? And her family doesn't mind. Remember this? We know her mom and dad, and we already know this even today. Now you're a black American, she brings an African nigga back home to meet her mama and daddy, who doesn't speak good English, speaks this African shit. And her mama and daddy accepts this African nigga to be fucking their daughter. You guys hear the way I'm laying, you know this is a lie. You know in your mind I'm laying it out. You're like, nah, exactly. You're not gonna get that through the propaganda. So I got this goofy African nigga, doesn't speak good English, right? Kings up on some white booty in 1960. While people are getting hung in America, getting What? This is the story. And you know goddamn well it don't make any fucking sense. If you know American history, you know Barack Obama's story is a motherfucking lie. You know his story is a lie. Shout out to shout out to Judge Joe Brown told you the same thing. You find out, okay, you know his story's a whole fucking lie. And you find his stepdaddy, supposed stepdaddy, and this is a fact. We know this is a fact. His stepdaddy, remember, our mama don't stay with the goofy Kenyan nigga. We know that's a lie. No story's fake, right? She don't stay with the goofy Kenyan nigga, and somehow she ends up with a CIA assassin. These are facts, guys. Not my opinion. I know you guys don't know about the Barack Obama story. So Barack Obama is raised by a CIA assassin. This is a fact. So they go from the goofy Kenyan nigga to now his mama's married a CIA, because it connected. Remember, they connected with the Rothschilds, right, with the CIA. They created all it. So I should go for some goofy village nigga to a CIA assassin, because the African nigga story, that's a lie. That's made up. That's for the morons and the cheap seats. That's some made up bullshit. That's a lie. Right? It's made up. So how'd you go to some goofy village nigga? Next thing you know, the next person you're with is a CIA assassin? Facts. His stepdaddy was what's his name? In his documents, because he was using that name, Barry Soetoro. So Soetoro, these are facts, not me. It's not no alleged nothing. Not no legend. These are facts. What I'm teaching you right now are facts. You go look this up, baby. His stepdaddy was an assassin, a CIA assassin. These are facts. These are facts. Not my opinion. So now remember, because remember his name was what? What was his name? Barry Soetoro. Not Barack Obama. He goes under the name of Barry Soetoro and then moved to Indonesia. Oh, how does mama meet a CIA assassin and they move all the way to Indonesia? This was this motherfucker was the most life in Indonesia. Grew up in Indonesia and his dad is a CIA assassin. What are the likelihoods of that when you study this fake motherfucker, this fake ass story? What? How does his mama meet an assassin for the CIA? And they moved to Indonesia. Because remember, CIA had him there in Indonesia because he was doing contract killing. Remember, because Indonesia, just like Africa, was trying to get free of white people. That's why you got no real history. At that time, Indonesia and Malaysia was trying to get free. Remember, you got all these colonial powers falling down. Britain's falling in Africa, France is falling. Everybody's trying to get fucking free of these white people. Indonesia the same. Remember, that was called Dutch Indochina and French Indochina, Indonesia. Then we go Indochina. You had France controlling those islands, like Vietnam. You had the Dutch, the Netherlands controlling that shit. So they wanted to keep their colonies in the Pacific, right? In the Pacific Southeast. They wanted to keep their colonies. So Barry Soetoro, daddy, Lolo Soetoro, the facts. Who's his stepdaddy? So he's there to make sure he put a bullet in anybody's head who's trying to get away from white folks. He's a CIA assassin. He's there to talk. Listen, hey, you better just be a puppet. Your whole family gonna get fucked up. Your whole family get fucked. This is what little Barry was raised under. So they go for some goofy Kenyan nigga in Western Kenya who's supposed to be his daddy. But somehow that don't work out. That fake story, that don't work. So her mama is now married to a CIA assassin, and live in Indonesia. Tell the stories. No one wants to go some goofy nigga from Kenya. Now go be with a high-powered fucking assassin, making sure these other people don't leave white people's slavery. Taking that, see I said, oh, this works. Well, this connects the dots. So now, because they already they probably didn't know they were gonna make this goofy nigga president yet. but they were going to groom him for something, right? So Barry Barack is being groomed because he never used the name Barack. Remember, he used the name Barry Soetoro. Go back and check all his records. He was Barry Soetoro. His daddy was Lolo Soetoro, the alleged CIA assassin, which is not alleged. This is a known fact. All right. So imagine his mama's hooking up with known assassins, right? So you know her parents weren't gonna allow her to be with some goofy African nigga from Western Kenya. What? Because they're already CIA connected. You get it? Her duty is to be with this damn Lolo Soetoro. To take this goofy Barry Soetoro kid and raise him in Indonesia. It's a fact. Okay? Then they come back later on with the teenage. Then you find out. They always want to tell you the poor story. Oh, his parents were poor. These are lies. Because remember, they when they leave Indonesia, they come back to Hawaii. Barack Obama goes to the most expensive schools in Hawaii, private schools that no one can afford if you're poor. Another fact. They don't tell you none of this. They want to tell you. They remember the story was, oh, his mom and grandmother were poor. They knew you weren't gonna go back and research it. This motherfucker went to the most prestigious schools in Hawaii. Can't afford it. The schools cost more than major colleges, like goddamn $50,000, $60,000 a year. Oh, you didn't know that? You go back and research the damn family, part of the Rockefellers and Rothschild family lineage. Part of that lineage. And so now they got to make them. Now they got to. It's all planned, right? They got to move them and say, "We got no credibility. We got to move them to a black city." So I think we're probably gonna try to make this motherfucker a president. Yeah. All orchestrated, baby. All orchestrated. Because how does he end up all the way from Hawaii? Not been around. No, remember, Chicago, he chose a fish out of water. He had no black cred. He didn't act like black. He motherfucker never been raised around black people. He can't stand black people. He can't stand your black ass. Motherfucker was never raised around anybody black in his life. But they had to put him around black people so at least be a little bit comfortable around our black asses so they could groom his ass and fool you, right? So they send his ass to Harvard, Columbia, and all, you know the regular pedigree. They gotta give him a pedigree. They gotta make sure he's a Harvard lawyer, went to Columbia. Gotta give him the Ivy League because you gotta give him a pedigree. Instead of going there, then they go, because remember, he's already got money. Not poor until he's poor, right? He's poor. He decides to go to Chicago. What? How the fuck are you paying for Harvard and Columbia? Some of the most expensive schools, not in the country, in the fucking world. You know you can't come from poverty, go to fucking Harvard and Columbia. You know, they always got some kind of goofy scholarship. You know that's a lie, because how you take care of yourself. Remember, Harvard is up in Boston, one of the most expensive cities. And Columbia's down in New York. How you pay to live in fucking New York? One of the most expensive cities in the world. And you're supposedly poor. So I want you to catch all the background. Just nothing add up. Then he decides, at this top education, he just gonna all of a sudden move all the way to the middle of the country to Chicago. See, this is giving him credibility. Now I'm gonna be Chicago and be I'm gonna ask 10 speeds up at 10 speeds. You guys ever hear about goddamn Barack Obama? No. So he moves to Chicago, black area. No. Remember Fred, known for being a high activist area with Fred Hampton and Panthers and all that shit. They try to latch this motherfucking moron onto that history. They try to it's called grafting a story, grafting a narrative. So they're grafting this nigga, this fake motherfucker, onto Chicago's revolutionary history. They're grafting his ass. Understand that? They have you think Chicago, revolutionary Negro coming from Chicago. It's all fake. It's all phony. Because you're not going to go back and look at his past. Where is he? You're going to get caught in just, he's a black guy, I'm a black president. You're going to get caught up all in the emotion. Oh, my God. A racist America is going to vote for a black man. They say something. And they know. They're going to put the extra, because back then wasn't no damn FBA and all that bullshit. Black Americans, we always put Africa on a pedestal. We were Pan-Africans, right? So they're gonna make it. That makes him better. He's African. He's got attachments to Africa. Had my mama pissing on her damn self. Oh my God! His attachment to Africa too. You can't make this up. Had my mama in the car pissing on herself with that shit. That fake ass narrative, right? I never thought I said, oh Lord. So they take this goopy motherfucker, they put him in the Illinois House of Representatives, the state. They put him in the state government, right? Because they grooming his ass. No one's ever heard of him. You see Obama. Yeah, was trained in Chicago. Actually, so I know he's groomed there. He's groomed because he doesn't remember. Because remember, they sent him to a black church. They sent him to that black. He never been around black people. Everybody's a fish out of water. They got to groom him. He got to fit. He got to be able to play the part. Remember, they sent him to the most radical church in Chicago, Reverend Wright's church. Suppose that's where he meets. That's where he meets this fake half a man dude, right? Big Mike. All stories are just fake. But instead, now we only have the time to actually we'll go back and research shit in hindsight that this goopy nigga is a fake, fraudulent. So that's when he goes to the black church trying to learn black mannerism. This motherfucker never been around nobody black, either in Africa or America. So he doesn't really want to be a black African because that won't work in America. So he's just want to be attached, have that story of being from black African identity. But he's got to connect to black people in America. And it's got to be like, that's why when first came out, he would say he liked Al Green and Lauryn Hill. He was doing rap, trying to be cool and shit. That was his attachment to black America. This motherfucker here, going to Indonesia with his goddamn assassin father, had nothing to do with black people, not American. So he had to learn the lingo. And we come out, you guys fall in love with all kind of images. He coming out singing Al Green. Remember that? Somebody. Y'all, whoa, singing Al Green. The same thing I did with Clinton when Clinton was playing black music with the saxophone. But now you got a real black guy, right? He's black for real. Fuck that his mom was white. Fuck Bill Clinton. Y'all call Bill Clinton the first black president because he knew some black lingo. But now, fuck Bill Clinton. We got a real black man. And he's got some African past. Ooh, and he's rapping like Lauryn Hill. This is called mind control, right? So then, right, he's introduced to the world in 22 years ago, right? He's introduced to the world in 2004. We're to the world, not to Chicago. He's been in Chicago making the rounds. I'm talking to the rest of black America and the world, because we don't live in Chicago, so we never heard of this nigga, right? We don't know this motherfucker. We never heard of this bitch. We don't know nothing about this goopy nigga. So now he's only in Chicago, building up his image in Chicago and around Illinois. But he makes his world image known during the 2004 Democratic convention, right? This is when the world and American black people get introduced, not just Chicago, because he's been in Chicago. Now, black America gets introduced to this this Barack Obama nigga. We get introduced in 2004 when he's up there making a speech. And the guy, he's young, he's good looking, right? He's articulate. Remember, he's young, he's articulate. There's no white America. There's no black America. There's only the United States of America. We all come together, white man, black man, blah, 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 right? All that fake shit he's saying. There's no white America. Anybody in America know there's a white America. Anybody in America know there's a black America, right? Right? We know that. Even back then. Even go back when he's born, it's even worse in the 60s. So we know his mama didn't meet no black nigga from no Kenya. That's a fake, made up story. So even back then it was bad. Even in 2004, we know it's a lot, but people like Barack Obama. Now remember, everybody's a buzz. Who's Barack Obama? My mama, who's the kid? Did you see the Democratic convention? Did you see this young guy out of Illinois? Nobody knows he's got some African shit yet. He's out of Chicago, right? He's just young black guy, Chicago. Shit, man, he's impressive. Blah, 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 right? And so, in 2005, we got Hurricane Katrina with Joe. We showed all the black people all fucked up, died in New Orleans. Oh, everybody's all fucked up. It's like, because the country's still racist. He's talking about there's no white America, there's no black America. And the next year, 2005, Hurricane Katrina hits New Orleans, and black people all fucked up, dying, being flooded out. And they said, oh, look at these niggas. They're so black and so poor. Right? These black motherfuckers are so black and so poor. And so Barack Obama makes a name for himself and says, this injustice cannot go unstand for. This is the United States of America. So, because he puts up the fake mantle of supposedly now protecting black people. Remember, it's a scam, because you didn't know at that time President Bush and President Obama knew each other as kids. You didn't know that. That young Barack Obama was related to the Bush family, and now President Bush's son is now president. George Bush Jr. is now president. You didn't know that Obama knew George Bush as a child. Remember, George Bush family is all linked in with the CIA. His daddy, former president George Bush, was what? The director of the CIA. And we know it's a known fact that Daddy Bush was there in this. We know he was there. So we know more. We're not going to do some alleged shit. We know Daddy Bush was there in Dallas when they blew Kennedy's fucking head off. We know he's there. There's pictures of him there because he was part of the CIA then, right? So we know all the way back in the 60s that Daddy Bush, before he became director of the CIA, was there when they blew Kennedy's fucking head off. When they blew President Kennedy's head off in the 1960s. We know George Bush Sr. was there. And we know George Bush Sr. is in the Epstine files for fucking black kids. Now, did he fuck Barack? Probably so. Allegedly. See, I'm trying to send for you. These are facts. We know Barack Obama, Barry Soetoro, was with the Bush family as a child. We know that Daddy Bush's preference was little black boys to fuck. That's not alleged. I told you that 10 years ago. With that Nebraska shit, this is known. But it's also now in the Epstein file that Papa Bush preference was fucking black boys. That's his preference. It's not me allegedly saying that. This is factual. That's leading up now. That's leading. Barack Obama's a child, a black kid in the Bush household. Now, I'm not saying, I'm letting you draw the conclusion, but you're not stupid. You're not stupid. Because we know it's a known fact. As a child, Barack Obama was with the Bush family. We know it's a fact that George Bush Sr. was the director of the CIA. That's a fact. It's all fact. Okay, so now we know, right? Now we come up. Now we know, right? So now he's being groomed to be president. He's up there, oh, these black people all fucked up. Yeah, there's a black man, but he can't go too crazy because white America's still racist, right? But they, the one thing about white America, they want to believe that they're not racist. They know they're racist, but they still want to believe that they're not. So they're going to clean. So they clean Barack Obama to be the acceptable Negro to white people. So that's the one election they didn't have to rig. Everybody black was behind Barack Obama. Barack Obama won with the biggest margin since Reagan. So they didn't have to steal that one to put their puppet up in there. Remember then Barack Obama got in everything that's anti-black. he made more homeless people. Economy was failing. Everybody got thrown out their house. He wouldn't give you health care. So it took you a while. You all, that's how they get you all caught up in the emotion. Oh, we got a black president. But nothing changed. He said, no, you niggas can't have no health care. Hey, man. He ain't changing shit. Ain't nothing changing. But anyway, take that down, Joe. Take that down. We don't know about that Oprah bitch. I'm going to try to see if we can find, I'm going to share my screen, See if we can find the emerald tablets where he's showing you what Thoth is telling you, right, about this reptile energy that's in everything. So let me see, because I think they took. Let me see if it's in it, because he died a couple of years ago. Let me see if it's in here. Push. Hold on. Let me push play. Let me see if I can find it. Play. Oh, sound. Hold on. My screen. Hold on. I gotta share my screen. I'm tripping. Hold on, give me a second. Because I think there's the only one I can find that still has the reference, right? Still has that reference about what they actually are, right? So let me see. So I'm not going to the beginning. I'm looking for a thing where Thoth is telling you that these things house themselves in human bodies, and you can't tell what it is unless you're able to change the vibration around this fucking thing. And that's why the digital cameras can pick it up, because the digital cameras can look in another vibrational time and space and see the shit, what it is. While your eyes can't pick it up, the camera can pick it up underneath another frequency.
Of men, keeper of the great temple. As we know, the Atlanteans were headed by Poseidon Enki and his island kingdom described by Plato in the Critias. Thus, as was in the case in Sumer, Nishida Thoth is clearly Enki's son. This is yet another AK name for Enki, Ea Nudimud. Enki thought me, dwelling in the great temple of Atlantis, who had the mission of playing liaison between the children of light and the races of men in inhabiting the 10 islands. Thoth's incarnation is distinguished from mankind, stating that he began as a mighty one of Atlantis, living from eon to eon.
This is Thoth telling you about living eon. At that time, after the black man had a chance, they knew how to create avatars, fake bodies, take their energy out of the body, and then make another clone and house themselves in that body and walk amongst the people as that person. This is real. That's why you're not going to know any of this. This is real. This is real. And this is over 400,000 years ago, he's telling you this. They can take their energy, get rid of the body, and create another clone and house their energy in the body, because the body is just an illusion. It's an avatar. They can house their energy in another body. And this is what he's talking about right here.
God, renewing his life in the halls of Amenti.
And we know the halls of Amenti are real, because now we know they found all these chambers underneath the pyramids. Everything he's saying is factual here. Right? We know we found all these chambers that are underneath the pyramids, what he's talking about here, 400,000 years ago. That all that shit he's talking about, we know today that it really exists. That there are chambers underneath the pyramids, that there's city structures underneath them. No one's been down there yet to find out, because they already know what's down there. Everything Thoth is telling you here. Halls of Amenti, all that shit's there. It's there. So no more alleged shit.
Amenti spawned.
Oh, this is all made up ancient African. This is all fake. This doesn't exist. Everything tells you. Well, he's telling you about how he's showing you right here, as when you leave your body as an out-of-body experience. He's telling you get caught up in the illusional world and you're brought back. You're reincarnated. The Ka. This is the Ba. And this is the Ka. Remember the Ba and the Ka right there. Right? That you come back reincarnated. This ancient African shit. No such thing as death. So you get caught up in this field that they created right here, this portal, your ass just get recycled, right? You got the Ba right here, which is your energy. Human energy is the Ba. Your reincarnation energy is called the Ka. That's why you got, they always steal all your shit. That's why you got in fake Allah shit, the Kabbalah. I mean the fake Hebrew shit, they call it the Kabbalah, right? That's really ancient Africa. Ain't nothing to do with any Jews. It's ancient African science. And then in Islam, they got something called the Kaaba that they walk around, which that's your energy. That's what this comes from ancient Africa. The Ka and the Ba. This is ancient Africa. So all your goofy religions that they created are based off your ancient African science. But you never know that because you never study shit. Got you walking around in a circle and all this old crazy shit on some fucking goofy desert. Motherfucker scared to die. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna go to hell. There's no hell. Tell you this right here. Leave your body. You get caught up in this illusion. See where it says illusion? You get caught up in this illusionary world right here. This is where you go when they open the light and you go here. Instead of going back to the universe out here. You get caught up in this illusionary world. Then you go through the portal and your ass is coming back reincarnated. You're coming back to the planet. I'm glad they put Africa as the center of everything. Right there, you're leaving and you die. The body releases the body, your energy, your soul. But you're going to go here to what they call the illusionary heaven. They will tell you, oh, you need to go back and you go ahead, the third dimensional portal. You're going to go here for time being. Oh, it's time to go back and take some more lessons and all that stupid shit. You're just going to be thrown into another body. I told Joby, she ain't going to be no Kenyan. She'll be fucking around, running around, probably come back to somebody in South Africa doing piano, some goofy shit. Anyway, you said that, Joby, did I lose you? Did I lose everybody?
No, I'm here.
Okay. So yeah. So anyway, so I'm trying to find the part where he mentions about the reptile energy because they were opening up portals to lower dimension and lower vibration, and those portals and those things were coming up through, found the house and housing inside a human being. Okay. See if I can. So I'm going to trying to find that certain passage because you can't go none of these tapes on YouTube and find that passage. It's all been edited out.
Mortality is given as coming from the river of life that flows eternally onward. Reference 10, page 5. Recall the water of eternal life that Anu offered to Adapa during his visit to heaven, Nibiru. Could this be a colloidal solution of monoatomic gold, also known as starfire gold? That's discussed in my first book, The Anunnaki. And as many times have I ascended from the darkness into the light, my strength and power renewed. Thoth indicates that his renewal process in the Amenti longevity chamber is overdue and that he'll be going there soon. His initial
he's saying what you don't know, you make a static field. The rocks, everything has, if you ever put your body in a static field, you can rejuvenate your cells and still live in this body, keep the body alive as long as you could because you rejuvenate the cells. The reason why the body dies because through the process of living your life and so what I'm looking for, entropy, your cells get weaker and weaker as the older you get. And so the body just eventually gives out because you can't rejuvenate your cells. If you can find a way to rejuvenate your cells, you can live in this body for as long as you need to always stay young.
audience is disclosed as those in the land of Kim, or Egypt as we now know it. A prophecy is given that in some unknown future time, Thoth will rise again, mighty and potent, requiring an accounting of those left behind.
The land of Kim, not Egypt. That's what Egypt was known, Kemet, not
and under the tutelage of the priesthood left to guard the emerald tablets. They are warned to keep his doctrine pure and avoid falsely betraying the emerald tablet lessons or suffer a curse that will befall them. A brief discussion regarding the fall of Atlantis is presented. Gradually, the state of consciousness is eroded in the.
There we go. So they did fine. So gradually, the state of consciousness, you're going to become. So this has something to do with the 25,000 year cycle of time. Africans get smart, they get stupid. Smart and stupid, right? So you go through certain periods of time, depending on what energies are hitting the earth at what time you're traveling through the galaxy. So as you get closer to what we call the center, the Paloma, you're gathering more light, so you become more conscious. As the Earth goes away from the center of this galaxy, you start becoming more stupid. And it's a 25,000 years rotation of time. You go up 12,000, you come down 12,000. So he's telling, so now they're on the decline. And he's telling you gradually the state of consciousness was eroded. People started to become stupid. You're not as smart. People being reincarnated under a lesser star, which means you're going away from the Paloma of the galaxy, the center light. You're going away from it, and so now you're getting less light, less consciousness. This is what all your tribal shit's about, because everybody uses the more. They're getting less light. Light means intelligence, consciousness. So he's telling you, gradually the state of consciousness was eroded in the kingdoms of Atlantis, being replaced. All right.
Kingdoms of Atlantis being replaced with the spawn of a lower star.
Spawn of a lower star. So it means as they were going away from the Paloma, 25,000 year cycle from the center, all that, they were getting lower in other stars where the energy wasn't as vibrant. You didn't have as much energy coming into the planet to bring you smart, to make you conscious, make you real smart. yet less light. So you started becoming more stupid, more tribal, more moronic. That's why you're going to have religions when you're in a dark age, when you're farther away from the center of the galaxy, because you can't put a religion on somebody knows has as your conscience is high, because it sounds stupid. All these religions are contradictive and based on fear. These religions are based on fear. Okay? You've been conscious, you know everything. So there's no reason to be feared. You know death is not real because you're conscious of these things. Only a lower vibration, lower energy hitting the planet that religions can. That's why these religions are new. That's why they're not ancient. Because you can't have these fear-based religions in a high conscious state. It can't exist. You're too conscious.
State of being. At the end of Plato's historical accounting regarding Atlantis, it becomes clear that the high moral character, which was once the aspiration of all island inhabitants, versus material gain, came to a cataclysmic end.
Came to an end. They started having material. Remember, I want a car, I want this, I want this. See, that high spiritual beings and understanding how things work, they became materialistic. Okay? Material gains.
The reason for the fallen state was attributed to the intermixing of genetic material.
Intermixing of genetic material. They start making these white people start fucking up the genetics. See, that's never, all your new tablets, all delete that shit. Now we're creating them hybrid people. See, Africans, black people are the most purest people in the universe. You're 100% human. So now we start gene splicing and genetic manipulation. This way back then. Remember, they had to wipe out all this shit. And they started again like 10,000 years ago. They started the shit again. We got all these people, these other people on the planet. They're a process of genetic material, genetic manipulation, intermixing genetic materials. They did it again. They were doing it way back then. So this is the fall of Atlantis. They started creating all this fucking non-melanated beings and all this other crazy hybrid shit. Okay?
Material, leading to a loss of connection to the higher state of consciousness.
Leading to a connection. Now remember, your melanin connects you to true God. So losing connection to a higher state of consciousness. Remember, these other people said they're detached from the Creator, have no internal monologue. They feel detached. That's on purpose. That's on purpose. Everybody can kill all these babies and eat them and all this fucking crazy shit going on. When Joby says, what about the humanity? It doesn't exist. And this fun is all this ties itself in. 10,000 years, this was done again. Those are telling you this is 400,000 years ago. He's talking about this 400 fucking thousand years ago. So they did this again 10,000 years ago. Started messing genetic. We know this is a fact. Because ain't nobody evolved from no fucking monkey to no human and have different goddamn melanin. One has pale melanin, you have Euro melanin. You have kinky hair, people are straight. That happened because no cold weather, no weather modification, all this goofy shit. Those are lies. Genetically, you're completely different. Gene splicing, what he's telling you here. They lost connection to the higher state of consciousness because they were making things unmelanated. They lost the loss of connection to the higher state, meaning true God. Higher state of consciousness, prolific of more of the purebred is African. Imagine with these goofy women sleeping with this Russian elderly purebred, sleeping with a goddamn hybrid. You know that? The African's so fucking stupid now, doesn't know shit. Purebred, that's what Epstine was doing. Taking him back to his ranch. The purebred is the African. That's a fact. Purebred is the African. The African is the only one that doesn't have what? No animal genetics. He's the purebred. He's the closest thing to the God, to the Creator. Purebred. Real. But the evil motherfuckers that turn the propaganda upside down so much that the dumb African people globally think that being a hybrid is better. and not being a pure, but they desire to be white and non-pure anymore, and bleach my skin, and when I have green eyes and blue eyes. That's genetic manipulation to house demonic energy. We're just going to tell you, to house the reptile energy.
Prolific among the more purebred citizens. Plato's account ends with Zeus being inserted into a judgmental council position, which, from what we know of Enlil Zeus,
so
nothing good could come.
When we say Enlil, so we know
additionally, Thoth
so we know these words. Enlil is also Jehovah. That's your God you worship. Enlil, Zeus, Jehovah, Yahweh. That's this motherfucker here. You're not supposed to know that. People think your thing started with your goofy Bible 5,000, 6,000 years ago.
That other trouble was afoot, claiming that the dweller of Aguanti was summoned and subsequently changed the flower of life frequency or intensity, or both. Drunvalo Melchizedek wrote 2 books in a series titled The Ancient Secret of the Flower of Life, reference 32 and 33, in which he describes an energetic grid around the earth, whose origins and structures derive from the ancient symbol. Interestingly enough, I learned how to draw this symbol using only a compass. It was used as artwork on one of the didgeridoos I fabricated out of a yucca cactus in San Diego, California. See figure 14 below. Figure 14, flower of life symbol. Now we proceed to the actual text. I, Thoth the Atlantean, master of mysteries, keeper of records, mighty king, magician, living from generation to generation, being about to pass into the halls of Amenti, set down for the guidance of those that are to come after, these records of the mighty wisdom of great Atlantis, in the great city of Kior on the island of Undal.
So we know Atlantis is all African people, okay? None of these people existed. To make sure these movies show you white people in Atlantis. No. Only black people existed. Only the purebreds existed, which is an African.
In a time far past, I began this incarnation. Not as little men of the present age did. The mighty ones of Atlantis live and die, but rather from eon to eon did they renew their life in the halls of Amenti, where the river of life flows eternally.
So what he's saying, they would just regenerate their soul. So people died and come back, they wouldn't do it. They would just regenerate the body, have cellular generation. They would regenerate the cells somehow. Like I think it's like it's done within like a static field, but I don't got time to discuss all that.
Eternally onward. 100 times 10 have I descended the hall that way that led into light, and as many times have I ascended from the darkness into the light, my strength and power renewed. For a time I descend, and the men of Chem is alchemy in ancient Egypt, shall know me no more. But in a time yet unborn will I rise again, mighty and potent, requiring an accounting of those left behind. My curse fall upon ye, my people in the ancient days, great beyond the conception of the little people now around me, knowing the wisdom of old, seeking far within the heart of infinity, knowledge that belonged to earth's youth. Wise were we with the wisdom of the children of light who dwelt among us. Strong were we with the power drawn from the eternal fire. And all of these, greatest among the children of men, was my father, Thothme, keeper of the great temple, linked between the children of time. There grew within the fire of wisdom until it burst, taught by the dwellers, so that his purpose might. Deep I bowed in homage before the lords of life. Wisdom, I looked into the hearts of men, and there found I in the light of life.
All right, guys, I'm checking the report.
Gradually from the kingdoms of Atlantis, past waves of consciousness had been one with me, only to be replaced by the spawn of the lower star.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm trying to get the part where he's going to tell you that about this reptile energy, how they would open up portals and create avatars to house this shit in.
Obedience to the law, the word of the master grew into a flower. Downward into the darkness turned the thoughts of the Atlanteans.
Here it goes.
Until at last this wrath arose from his Aguanti, the dweller. This word has no English equivalent. It means a state of detachment. Speaking the word, calling the power. Deep in the earth's heart, the sons of Amenti heard and hearing, directing the changing of the flower of fire that burns.
See, now he said no one is telling you they sink in Atlantis because they're fucking around with genetic manipulation, making these goddamn things and housing demonic energy in it. So they sunk in the planet. See, this is not the first flood. Then that comes in your Bible later. They did it again. They did it again. But this is way ancient than that. All right, people, Lord, they started opening up portals and putting bringing demonic energy out of other dimensions and housing it with these fucking avatars, with these white people. And so they were sinking fucking Atlantis to wipe the shit out. All the genetic manipulation. That's what we got all on the planet. Asians, he's saying these are all genetic manipulations, not supposed to exist.
Eternally changing and shifting using the logos until that fire changed its direction. Then the master saying, "Gather ye together," rose the waters, making them still in their tracks as fragments of stone of the mountain. Nope. Until obeying the commands of the master.
He's not saying, "I'm get out of here." He's just saying when he gets to Kim, when he gets to Egypt. He's just saying when they finally get to Kemet. So I'm not even getting it on that. That's gone too. I'm not even getting that on that as well. I'm not getting that read on that either. Well, the tablets, you probably got to get the books. As many damn authors out here now, that part of the tablets are completely taken out. Where they say they open up portals and they're housing energy within these non-melanated beings that they're making. And those are saying the only way you could find out, because you would think there's a human being up in it, you would know what's housing demonic energy. You have to change the vibration around this motherfucker. It'll pop out. And the reason why it's able to keep vibrational, this art dimensional frequency, is to drink the blood. As it told you too in the Emerald Tablet. Them drinking the blood somehow synthesizes their vibration to this dimension, allows them to stay in that body. And this used to be called crazy talk. It's crazy talk here. Oh, so let me read you guys. Hey, Joby, you still there?
Joby, yes.
You able to read the comment?
Okay.
Talking so long.
Damn.
I know. I've been talking so long.
I'm gonna start from 10 speed. Saying they don't have to mention Michael Jackson as a pedophile on the island, and they took him on a trial. 10 speed also says Obama has no Kenyan features. So see, Ricky Snow says Obama mother said he's 22 inches African python pissing in patch and falling in love. If I got that correctly. Jibba Jabba.
It's about 22 inches top of his penis, Joe. It's trying to be funny. Barack Obama's got a 22-inch penis.
Wow. Jibba Jabba says $430 million dollars trust fund he collected when Sotoro died.
Exactly. That's he was poor. Exactly. He's already a multi-millionaire. He'll never bring that up. Say, oh, he's poor. That always do the poor shit. Barack Obama grew up in poverty. His mom and dad were poor. What? The white people weren't poor. Talking about that's the story they give you. Good.
10 Speed says Obama was trained in Chicago, actually taught in Chicago. Also says we had his name in 1 month and he's running for Senate.
He's only 1 month. So you guys even know his ass when he was down in the Senate, down in the Illinois Senate. Exactly. He didn't start running for senator after he did that goopy speech. Remember, he did that goopy speech in 2004. He did that goopy speech with what's his name? What's the guy's name? Run president? John Kerry's running for president. Lost, right? So you guys knew him before us. The world did for West America. Then he became senator of Illinois. Then he ran for president. But go ahead, Joe.
10 Speed also says first president to hold Masonic dinner in White House. All ball Negroes attended it and was like that scene Uptown Saturday night. Okay. Also see Samuel says there was a Blackwater militia going around in New Orleans doing all sorts of evil to black people.
Yeah,
And
yeah. It was Blackwater. The white it's not even called that anymore. I forgot to change the name. Some of the white assassination team that run around that was shooting black people trying to keep them back in the imagine. And this is 20 years ago, 21 years ago. 2005, you have a hurricane hit New Orleans, and the government was trying to kill black people who were trying to get out of there. You're talking about the Blackwater people, the assassination team. And we're supposed to believe back in the 60s, some goofy nigga from Africa met some white woman and had sex with her and had him. Okay. But by 30, 40 years later, they're shooting and killing our ass in New Orleans, and they call us, we're so black and so poor.
John Mostro says Judge Joe Brown was exposing Bush and Obama being related to.
Yeah, they're related. But look, I'm got a little girl that put that up. They're all related. That's exactly keep reading that, Joe. They're all related.
Someone says probably why Obama kept pushing that gay stuff. If decides the Obama black people would say you are envious and anyone else would be racist. Danny Karibu says Obama was simply the blackface of white supremacy. That's all.
Exactly.
And 10 Speed says Billy Carlson has a book on the Emerald tablets. Jibba Jabba says the internet.
But he's taking all that shit. That fake ass Billy Carson, that phony. He tried to tell Billy Carson's a fake. But whenever they try to put, imagine guys, whenever they try to put white people involved in this history that didn't exist, he's like that other dude Joby used to show up. No, that was Spikes back in the day. So that infinite waters, come in and breathe the waters. That British motherfucker, right? This is infinite water, and all the audience were always white people. They didn't make them mad. They wouldn't tell them that they were hybrids, right? And remember, Billy Carson's married to a hybrid, an Asian one. So he always tries to. You always know they're fake. They try to include everybody, but you can't because none of these people existed. So if you're going to be honest, he's telling you about in the tablets that there was genetic manipulation, and they started making hybrid people, which was wrong. That's why they sunk it. That's in there. That's what he's telling you. And we know that the purebred people are African. These are facts. This is factual. So we listen to a fake Billy Carson. You know he's lying because he's got a white audience that's paying him money. We were all in Atlantis. No, you were not. You were not there. You're made. You're created. So,
Danny says you've got to be completely compromised if you want to run for the Senate, much less the presidency. What would make you think Obama would be any different? Also, see Samuel says now they rebranded African science as New Age,
New Age for white. Sorry about the joke.
Says also
you got white people doing African science and we rebranded the New Age. Why you got Joby's goofy guy, that goofy Islam dude? They want that goofy guy Joby say smart, but he keeps saying, now they want to have you do New Age and do this, blah, blah, blah. No, there ain't nothing new about that. It's African, ancient. For your goofy Islam, thousands of years before your goofy Islam and Christianity was even created. So this ain't New Age, nothing. White people are taking African science and try to rebrand it as their own and call it New Age teachings. They're not. And try to put themselves in the middle of it, but they don't. Remember the pineal gland is fucked up. They take old ancient shit and try to rebrand it and try to teach it to you. Get out of here. Go ahead, Joe.
Speed says, so does having straight hair has anything to do with your creator? Example, dark skin.
Yeah, it means you're hybrid. You got hybrid genetics in you. If you don't got hair like mine, Joby, you got some hybrid. You got some hybrid in you, baby. Sorry. Sorry to tell you that. Your hair, the African hair, is living. Everybody hair hanging down is dead. This is just another scientific fact. So you got these pretending. I was an Indian. I was American Indian. Yeah. Show these dark people with this laid down slick shit. You're hybrid. That's animal fur. See, one thing I'm telling you, that stuff on everybody's head sound. These are facts. Don't believe me? Go to one of your buddies' hair. White people, Asian, ask, can you get a pluck of their hair? Go. You take it and test it. It's animal fur. The facts. Only people that got hair on the planet are African people. This is hair. Everybody else has fur. That's what he's telling you. That's what he's telling you in the tablets. We started creating other people. We started doing genetic manipulation. Genetic manipulation with what? With fucking animals. Go ahead, Jim.
No, 10 speed. Jason says I heard they still had created beings up in certain containers, still sitting up.
That's what they say. I don't know. I can't say they remember because they also had these motherfucking cats are still around. These motherfuckers still live. Remember, they live thousands of years. So most of them are down in the Antarctica have been chilling down in the South Pole. So I'm sure they got beings in containers because they got stories about white people said they're taking their soul, taking their spirits out and putting them in other bodies. Oh, these stories exist. We know this. We know this technology is ancient. It's been kept away from us. We've been kept like children, not knowing how real ancient technology worked, what's possible. And all this stuff sounds crazy to people. Sounds crazy to people. All this stuff is about. You got the CIA telling you that. CIA is telling you through the gateway protocols, guys, back in the 80s. Everything here is an illusion. But this is ancient African. They're telling you everything is an illusion, that none of this is even real. You're living in a dream-like world right now. That there's no such thing as death. Death is only fake. So you can't tell people that, but the religions will collapse. They would think, if I do this, I'm going to hell, I'm going to die and burn. And remember, that's why you got Mardi Gras out there. Remember, Africans knew this. That's why Africans celebrate death. The African tradition, because people celebrate, they would dance and celebrate the light. Only do these hybrid people, you got now people go, oh, Jimmy, my mama, Jimmy, oh, you dead. No such thing as death. Death does not exist. There's no such thing that you live in an infinite universe, so nothing can ever not be infinite. Nothing can never not exist. That's why through science it tells you that energy can never be created or destroyed. Because you as an African, you've always been part of the creation. That means you've always existed. There's never been a time. See, this is not talking about it. You're scared of this. Never been a time that you as an African has never existed in some form of space and time. Never. There's never been a time where you would not exist. Ever. Never. Never a time. So death doesn't affect me like it used to. Because I didn't know all this. It doesn't affect me when somebody dies. Because I know there's no such thing as death. That's why you can always go take your digital camera if you don't believe that. Take a good digital camera, go out to the graveyard. You see balls of light. Those are certain people that haven't moved on yet. Still living. That's why when you go with a Tesla as a camera, right? Goes to the future picking up all these people and shit. People can't see anybody saying somebody's dead. These digital cameras picking up people walking through cemeteries and shit. Those probably died in sudden deaths and can't accept they're dying. Like, they're still around because there's no such thing as death, right? Now they don't have this body, this vehicle anymore, right? And if you're black, you are the energy of you have a soul. They're just energy. When everybody dies, they keep coming back here, but they can never leave this realm of existence. You access to the whole universe once you know it, right? That's all this wicked shit is happening everywhere. You saw this stuff happen. All this shit ties in. That's why you never taught. That's why you caught in a goopy church, not never knowing shit whole life, talking about Jesus and nonsense, praying and singing stupid songs. You're an Allah, wrapped up in that goopy mummy shit. Just caught with straight ignorance. All that shit is ignorant. And they tell you to be scared to know anything because that's the devil. You know, in your ancient science, ancient knowledge is now the devil. It tells you everything that you know is evil, but everything you know, science proves it to be right. Science proves that Christianity is a lie. Science proves that Islam is a lie. Science proves that African science is the truth. That you live in an illusionary world, there's no such thing as death. Africans knew that. That's why you celebrate death, because they know nobody died. That's why they say you were a returning ancestor. It's African science. So every baby born was a returning ancestor because they knew you were being reincarnated. There was no damn death. They got people scared. I'm not gonna die. Ooh, I'm living got Africans living in poverty and shit. Talking about dying. Ooh, God put me in poverty and I'm praying. Your energy's fucked up. You're low vibrational. That's why you're in poverty. You've accepted that stupid shit. You refuse to learn. You refuse to learn. And that's your plan. Go ahead, Joe.
I think we're done with all the comments. We're just gonna wrap it up there. Usually I've read all the
Let's go on.
comments.
Let me place one. We got one more. Let me place one thing. Go quick. 3 minutes. Let me share my screen real quick. So this 3 minutes, I'm gonna let Joby go. Wrap it up. I gotta get out of here too. So we're gonna wrap this up, guys. Share. We're gonna show that all the presidents are related because they all gotta have this energy. They're all controlled by this entity that you don't know because their lineage has got to be able to house this demonic energy. That's why they're all related. So you're like, because this is not an accident. How can they all be related? It can't be. Uh-oh.
Watch tonight the story of a 7th grader from Salinas who claims to have made a major discovery about President Obama. She and her grandfather say that President Obama is related to all but one U.S. president.
Exactly. How's the very daughter president? He's supposed to got a Kenyan daddy. Not. They're all related because they all carry demonic energy. They're put there on purpose, guys. This is a show. This is a game you're looking at. They've already been groomed to be the president, and they all house demonic, and they're all wicked. They're all child molesters. They're all pedophiles. They're all homosexuals. That's on purpose. All of them.
We get more tonight from Action News reporter Felix Cortez, who's live in our Salinas newsroom.
Well, Dan, the youngster spent the summer, really all summer, tracing the family tree of our presidents. Her conclusion that all the presidents, with the exception of one, share the same grandfather.
They're related. The bloodline.
Well, first we start off with George Washington at the top, and then it goes to John Adams, Thomas Jefferson.
11-year-old Brit.
They think child figure. You think people don't know this? This 11-year-old child figured this out. They're all related, guys. That's why this is a game.
Jan Dovigneau says she's made a first-of-its-kind discovery that President Obama and all the presidents before him, with the exception of one, are related and descendants of a former king of England.
No, they are all cousins, and they're grandsons of John Lackland.
Dovigneau says she spent countless hours on the internet over the summer researching the lineage of our presidents, a project that started with her trying to trace her own family tree.
But I'm the first historian to do all the presidents. I'm very glad I got this done.
They go Papa Bush. They go his son George Bush. They go Papa Bush, fucking little black boys. They go his son, President, dumb as dirt.
And I think it will turn out to be a success.
The Monte Vista Christian 7th grader has written President Obama to tell him the presidents before him.
He already knows, little girl. That's it. We'll wrap it up. He already knows, little girl. You the one that don't know. He already knows. Okay, make sure you understand. He already knows this. You don't. Right? They're on the same bloodline. So they got to house that demonic energy in it. So they don't need. Make sure you less melanin as possible. So he's not. He don't got no Kenyan daddy. Okay, some made up shit. Africa. I got it. Anyway, much love, family. Wrap it up. Let Joby get on out of here. So.
Yeah, much love, family. Thank you so much for joining. See you guys tomorrow, same time.
Same time. Yeah, she put in the work, but this has already been known before. Little girl put it together. If a little 11-year-old put it together, I may think other people have already put this together. Much love.
Peace and out.